It also says that God really hates people who commit false witnesses. So we need the ninth commandment, which says, you shall not bear false witness. You shall not lie. But before we get into that, a couple things. I want to remind you, every Sabbath, as the speakers of their speaking, we encourage you to do 4 things. Number 1, to make sure you write down the commandments. That's how you remember it. You'll find that if you do this, at some point you'll be able to list and say all of them. So write it down. There's a page across from the sermon, from the program, the day's program, where you are to write these things. Second, as you listen to the sermon, try to understand what's the intent. What does the commandment really mean? Number 3, what is the purpose? Why would God tell you this? Why would God give you this commandment? Take the time to record it. And lastly, what's in it for you? How should you now move forward and live your life as a result of what you just learned? And today we have with us as speaker, Brother Charles Adu. Now if I'm speaking to you now and I say konnichiwa, most of you probably won't know what I mean. Right? But Elder Adu will. That's because he speaks Japanese fluently. Elder Adu spent time in Japan working with the military, and he actually reads and writes Japanese. Wow. I wish he told me that before we went to Japan last month and had to use an app on our phone trying to communicate. But you know Elder Adu, he's been a member of this church for the last 16 years. He served as a deacon for 6 years, and he also served as an elder for the last 10 years. But his name is actually Charles Adu Boyim. So one thing he says he observed about Havertown is, even though the demographic of the church has changed, but the love remains strong. Elder Adu is from Ghana, West Africa, and he's been in the U.S. for the last 18 years. He studied electrical engineering at KNUST University in Ghana. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. I'm going to butcher it. But he tells me not to speak a lot about him, just keep it short. But he also studied, did his master's at Tuskegee University in Alabama. He speaks 3 languages in addition to Japanese. And he's also in the church, I call him, he didn't tell me to say this, but he's the jack of all trades. Oh, yeah. He fixes everything. He's an electrical engineer by trade, but he does networking, which he did actually in Japan. And he's been the one doing the maintenance in this church. He's such a great resource. And we're so blessed and so glad to have Elder Adu with us, not just serving as an elder, but also serving as our Mr. Fix-It. Right after the meditation song, which is going to be presented by our brother Kalu Okori.
Praise the Lord.
I want to see smiling faces. Good morning.
Good morning.
In the house of God. So,
Amen.
Deeply feel happy. I want to thank Okoris family for the beautiful song.
Amen.
And all of them who are with me here, and Sister Kamo for the children's story. But above all, I want to thank Pastor for speaking about the 9th commandment and giving us some few statistics about what is going on around us. That within 10 minutes, there are lies upon lies from our mouth. If you are visiting, as Pastor has already said, we are almost coming to an end of a series. This is a series that we've been doing on 10 commandments for the past 9 weeks. It's 8 weeks, today is the 9th week. And today, we say we are on commandment number 9. And it is found in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 16. If you have your bulletin, the second insert, look at the first page, and stand up with me, and we we are going to read the 9th commandment, the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 16. If you have your bulletin, the insert, the first page is written there. We are all going to read together. Please, will you stand with me? I want the church to stand with me while we read this commandment. And I want you to repeat it all the time so that you will not forget it. Anytime you want to lie, you will not forget it. Let's all read together. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for not leaving us just as a created being, for us to do things by our own. Thank you for giving us guidelines, and thank you for giving us such love that if we go and live by your word, we will live a lovable life. Thank you for this guidance that human beings should live by it, and we can walk freely on the earth. Thank you for bringing us here once again. And thank you for sending me, your servant, to speak to your royal family, Father. Please, let the Spirit that you send through me speak to the Spirit that you have in them and help us to live by your word. Let the children of God say amen.
Amen. Amen.
You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Short but covers a lot. So the message today is so simple. You should not lie. Therefore, I entitled this sermon, if you look at your sermon section, it says, speaking the truth in love. You should not lie, but speak the truth in love. Now, you might be wondering, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? That is the first question that comes to me. And it's so simple that if you remember, Jesus Christ has already told us who is our neighbor in the parable of Good Samaritan. Everyone who is in need is your neighbor. Jesus make it simple. So all of us here are neighbors, except somebody is here who doesn't need anything, who get all together with God and with the earthly things. If there's somebody here, don't raise your hand. When we live here, I will see you and I will see me, so that I will try to get the secret of it. But if somebody here who is in need, and people need the love, then we are all neighbors.
Amen.
So we should not bear false witness against our neighbor.
Yes.
When Almighty God wanted to reveal to mankind so that we can live life to its fullest, He gave them these 10 words that theologians call it 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments are one of the few things that I want you to look into it. Jewish, Muslims, Christians, all agree on it. They all accepted it that is from God, with all their differences. Therefore, I give friends to prepare this message for the church. You know, I've been convicted too because I have found that this law is so broad and it goes in circles. When you start from the book of Genesis, you get to Revelation and it brings you back to Genesis. So it goes circle. I realized that the Ten Commandments is genuine in how far it reached. And how good is it for generations to live peaceful life? It is amazing if you take your time to go through the Ten Commandments. I find it as the God top 10 is the bedrock of civilization in all over the world. Eastern, Western, especially Western civilization. Many legal historians will contend that the American judicial system was originally based on the Ten Commandments. I quote from one of the United States President, Abraham Lincoln. This is what he said. If not for the Ten Commandments, you will not know right from wrong. And another national reformer, President Theodore Roosevelt, put it in this way: no man is a good citizen unless he so acts as to show that he actually uses the Ten Commandments. Amen. But the opinion of many Americans today, the Ten Commandments has changed. Today, they see Ten Commandments as outdated, useless. And some places, even if you mention Ten Commandments, it's an illegal. On my senior year in college, somewhere in 1980, Supreme Court of the United States banned hanging the Ten Commandments on the walls of our schools. You might wonder why they do such thing. Well, the majority believe that Ten Commandments has no educational value for the school children. In fact, I'm not just saying it from my head. Let me quote direct from the majority ruling of the Supreme Court about the Ten Commandments. They wrote, if the posted copies of the Ten Commandments are to have any effect at all, it will be to induce the school children to read them, to meditate upon, perhaps to venerate and obey the commandments. They went on and on and on, and which they wrote at the end, it is not a permissible objective. Think about it. The majority on the court were saying it is not permissible for students to honor God, to speak without cursing, honor their parents, tell the truth, be honest, respect others' property, and to treat life as a sacred. What is this? If these values are not allowed, should it surprise us that many public schools now have employed metal detectors, civilians cameras, bomb spots, and sometimes undercover police officers? Or when you are going through an airport, you have to be straight naked because they have an X-ray machines that see everything under you. The Ten Commandments is not important. That is why we are going through all this. Folks, let's pray that we will be ready to study this Ten Commandments. What is your opinion about all what I have said? Wouldn't you agree with me that the Ten Commandments will be of some educational value to the citizens of this world? Yes. Especially to our children? Then, today we are going to look at the 9th commandment. God prohibits against lying. We are going to try to answer 3 questions, as Pastor has already said. The Before we go on, the first question is, what is truth? And the nature of truth. What is truth? Second question, what is lying? And the nature of lying. And the third, how can we uphold the 9th commandment in our daily life? But before we answer these questions, I wanted to remind us about something on these 10 commandments. The first elder preached about this 10 commandments. He said, people who have already experienced God's grace and forgiveness was given the 10 commandments. Before God gave Israel the 10 commandments, he saved them from slavery of Egypt. Once after God has saved Israel, then he gave them the commandment. Until you experience God's grace through Jesus Christ, God's law will be no more than a source of guilt and condemnation in your life. God's grace always has to come first before you can understand his commandments. This in mind, let us look at the 9th commandment. What is truth? What is truth? Originally, the 9th commandment was dealing specifically with perjury. The lawyers and the laws and so on, they understand the word perjury. But look at that with me. You shall not give false testimonies against your neighbor. Well, in the Bible term, bearing false testimony wasn't just like somebody getting away with shoplifting or a traffic citation. It's not like that. Perjury is, of course, when you bear false witness while under oath to tell the truth. That is perjury. In fact, in the Bible term, perjury was serious. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, 15 through 21. Open your Bibles. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, 15 through 21. One witness shall not rise against a man concerning any iniquity or any sin that he commits. By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, the matter should be established. I'm not going to go on and on, but if you read through, Bible gives instructions about witnesses in criminal cases, how it should be. A single witness is insufficient to establish a charge. There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. And if you look at 17:6, Deuteronomy 17 says, you make it clear that before anybody can be charged for the crime, there should be about 2, 3, 4, 5 witnesses before a crime can be charged. And Jesus told us in the book of Matthew chapter 18, verse 16, he says, if your brother sin or offends you, go to the brother, and if the brother refuses to hear you, what do you do? He says, take 1, 2 people with you as a witnesses, and go back to the brother. And at the same time, Paul was talking to the Corinthian church. In the book of 2 Corinthians 13:1, Paul makes it clear. He told them that if you are going to talk about the gospel or about anything, get 2 or 3 people among you. And when Jesus Christ was trying to send his disciples, what did he tell them? He told them to go by what? 2 by 2, not 1 person. Because it's so important to God that people will start lying, but there should be a credible witnesses. If a question about integrity of a witness, then the judges should be very careful. They should inquire diligently, and if the witness is found to be a false witness, he must receive the very penalty that will have been applied to the accused. So, perjury have a penalty of death, unlike today. We've been living in the age of court TV. And it seems like we are surrounded with visual images of people who are sitting in either the bench of the defendant or the witnesses. And there is so much of that nowadays on TV. Every channel has their own court TV. And because of that, people comes in there and start lying. That is, we call it perjury. And the people sitting on the bench sees that that person is lying, and they all start laughing. So it has become fun to lie. But I want to ask you a question. Does God see lying as funny? If you don't know, let me tell you, during the early Christian time, when a couple decide to sell their land and bring the proceeds, they decide to keep some of it. And when they came, Peter asked them, why did you lie to the Spirit? And the Bible says that something happened. And when the wives came, and the same question was asked her, she lied, and something happened. God don't take lie as funny. Lie is so important to God that He punishes one who lies. And as Pastor said, there are so many things that God hates, the 7 things, but He repeats lie 2 out of the 7, that He hates the tongues that lies. We have been so saturated with deception and untruth that we don't see the difference between lying and the truth. I think we are living in a culture that is very difficult for people to differentiate lie and truth. Back in the Old Testament Israel, virtually every legal decision was decided based on the truthfulness of the witnesses. They didn't have the DNA test or expert witnesses that go through the fingerprints and so many things. So, if a witness lies, he ruins somebody's life forever, or he puts somebody to death. The 9th commandment is a call for the sanctity of truth in all areas of life. The fact that this commandment is calling us to tell the truth in all areas of our life, then there is something important which we have to find out. What is that truth, and what is that nature of the truth? That is the first question I ask. What is truth? Objective truth is truth that varies regardless of whether people believe it or not. It is truth that exists in objective reality apart from our personal feelings, beliefs, and ideas. For generations, our culture assumed that objective truth was real. In fact, in colleges and universities, those who are doing their graduate students Every academic field of study was based on the assumption that objective truth exists and it was available to all the careful students. This is true in the field of studies and in everywhere. Assumption was applied equally to physics, to psychology, to history, religion, biology, business, management, everything. Because the objective truth is that if you take physics, they will tell you there is a gravitational force around us. Whether you believe it or not, it's objective truth. If you take psychology, they will let you understand that our brain works in so many pulses of electrical signals, whether you believe it or not, it is true. History proves that George Washington was the first president of America, whether you believe it or not, is the truth. And religion, whether you believe it or not, God created heaven and earth, and it's objective truth. Biology, you are made of 46 chromosomes, whether you believe it or not. 23 from here, 23 from there. And business management, if you ask the business people whether you believe it or not, if you don't save, you can never earn. Yet, in our own generation, this assumption has all but disappeared. Today, most people believe that objective truth is only possible in science, not in other things. If you talk about history, they don't believe it. Ethics, oh, forget about it. Religion, no. Apart from science, they don't believe anything like that. But truth has been demoted to the equivalent of values, opinions, and preferences. For instance, I was watching graduate students debating about truth. And one of them says he likes vanilla ice cream. And he feels that vanilla ice cream is the best among all. And the other one says, no, I like chocolate flavor. And mine is the best. So they were talking about truth and using these things to talk about truth. So it is true that what is good for you is not good for me. That is just a personal preferences they were talking about and their own opinion. Because what I like is not what you like. So what's true for you isn't necessarily true for me or true for anyone else, for that matter. When truth becomes a subjective preferences instead of an objective reality, then everyone's opinion is equally valid, and it is impossible to prove one opinion as right and another as wrong. And most people in our culture think this is what it means for something to be true. Really? I'll call it postmodernism. Postmodern people. Maybe that is what they think. Many people believe that what is true for you, especially in religion, isn't necessarily true for me in religion. So, if you believe that God exists, I don't believe. Wow. The 9th commandment assumes that objective truth is really, and it exists. Then I will change the question and ask it this way. If that is true, that objective truth exists, who is the truth? The book of John 16, John 14:6. It says, and I think all of us here knows, Jesus answered, I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So now we have established that the truth exists. And we know who is the truth. Then the second question is, what is lie then? What is a lie? That is, we are talking about in the Ten Commandments. What is a lie? what constitutes a violation of the 9th commandment. Even though the 9th commandment was originally concerned with perjury, the principle undergirding the commandment applies to far more than the courtroom. So what is lying? Lying, we violate the 9th commandment. But in simple, lying is whenever we distort the truth. That is a lie. You see, most lies have just enough truth in them to make them difficult to identify as a lie. That is why we call it counterfeit. So counterfeit looks so real for you to differentiate it. Whenever we shape and mold the truth for our own purpose, leaving out a bit here, adding a bit there, we are guilty of breaking the 9th commandment. Now, as we think about lying as distorting of the truth, we find that there are so many different kinds of lying. But I'm going to take only 3 phases of lying. One phase of deception of lying is pride. Pride is a lie. It distorts the truth about ourselves. So the first person who lied was thinking that he is like God because of pride. For by the grace given to me, I'm reading from Romans 12, 3. Romans chapter 12, verse 3. For by the grace given to me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the measures of the faith God has given to you. The Apostle Paul revealed this is every Christian's personal responsibility to view him or herself accurately. While our world talks about having a positive self-esteem, the Bible tells us to have an accurate self-concept. Instead of being intoxicated by our pride, we are told to have a sober, clear-headed evaluation of ourselves, or who we are. In fact, recently when Philadelphia was looking for a sanctuary place for opioid addicts, drug addicts, so that they can go there and use these drugs so that they will be saved. And there was a lot of debate about it. And people, some of them were saying not in our backyard. Some of them were thinking that if government allows this, that means it's encouraging people to do this bad behavior. But on WHYY, I was, listening to a documentary about this issue. On this recently on a TV, they were saying that in Canada, the government appoints some police officers to film drug addicts and alcoholics while they are under this influence, so that they will show this film or these pictures into schools. The kids will not fall into the same trap again. But there's one thing I find it so good in training. So these officers got to know the street people in the slums. As they filmed them the drug abusers and alcoholics while they were under this influence. But one day, the officers found that when they later showed some of these people the film footage while they were clean and sober, some of the people were so horrified and shocked at their own behavior that it motivated them to seek for treatment. Folks, when we are intoxicated by pride, we can't see ourselves accurately. Our perception is drunk with pride. So we are told to evaluate ourselves according to the measures of faith God has given to us. In fact, Paul is talking about Christ being our standard, whom you measure yourself with. Do not measure yourself with your church pastor, or with an elder, or somebody who you think is so great. But the only standard that you measure yourself with is Jesus Christ, our criteria. He is our plumb line for evaluating who we are. Instead of basing our self-esteem estimate on how we feel or our own opinion, we are to see ourselves against the objective standard of Christian faith. Only in this way we can avoid pride to distort the truth about ourselves. Don't try to put on masks, pretend to be who you are not. There is another phase of deception which I want us to look into it. That is found in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. The book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1 says this. In fact, there's one thing I want you to understand. If pride distorts the truth about ourselves, right? There is something that distorts truth about others. We call it slander. So the book says this. It says, therefore, rid yourself of all malice and all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander of every kind. How many kinds of slanders are there? If pride distorts ourselves, slander distorts others. And how many kinds? A lot. There's a kind of slander that whispered as gossip from one ear to another. There are kind of slanders that put people down. Oh, he's there for nothing. You don't know anything. Don't mind. Oh, hey. There are kind of slanders that, speaks the kind of blazing lies about people. They made their own lies. They have never even seen that person before. And they can talk about that person. Or there are some kind of standards that people were not there, but they can give accounts about what happened. Whenever we distort the truth about other person, we are slandering that person. Yes. We find here that God wants us to he said, get rid of it. Rid ourselves of such practices. The verb rid literally means to take off a garment and put it out. Like taking off a dirty shirt or dirty clothes. You see, we wear slander like a shirt all the time, or like a clothes, and walking around. And the more we do it, the more the shirt stinks, or our dirty clothes stink. So people stay away from us. We can't establish any loving, positive relationship, healthy one. And sometimes we wonder, when we take the good news to the world, people run away from us. We don't know that we are wearing the slander with it. Now people fear to tell you what they are going through. Because the next morning, what they told you is going to change. Do we wear slander in our church here? What is part of our family? What is a part of our neighborhood? What of our working places? Whenever we distort the truth about other people, we are guilty of slander. Let's take another phase of slander. That is, Peter talked about it. He says heresy. Heresy distorts the truth about God. This kind of slander is very serious. 2 Peter 2, verse 1. The book of 2 Peter 2, verse 1 says that, but there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the sovereign Lord who bought them, bringing swift destruction on themselves. Just shorten it like that. A false teacher is a different thing altogether. Because a false teacher bases it or her false claim from the Bible. The false teacher doesn't claim that God appeared to me yesterday and told me to do this, to do that. No. False teacher, he misinterprets the scripture and twists it to justify their own ideas. For instance, there are some religious groups who have rewritten the Bible to claim that Jesus Christ didn't really rise from death or from the grave. Yet, the Bible teaches that Jesus Christ did rise from the grave. So they have to change the scripture, twist it to a certain verses so that it can justify their claim. Peter warns us here that heresy is always destruction and is destructive to ourselves. Whether it comes from either a false prophet, a false teacher, or whoever it comes from. A heresy is a teaching that separates a group of people from Christian community. So a heretical group, according to the Bible, is a group that denies the fundamental truth of the Christian faith. The main characteristic of heretical group is that their belief system claims to be Christian, but it doesn't correspond with the truth God has revealed about himself. So we should be very careful not to involve ourselves with this heresy. Jesus is simply telling us to be the kind of people who value the truth so much that even oath is unnecessary to swear an oath if you have the truth. I will try to make things short so that Pastor can go over some few questions. So, now that we know what is life, how can we uphold the ninth commandment? As a follower of Jesus Christ, we uphold the ninth commandment by directing our life by the truth. And who is the truth? Jesus Christ. You see, the Bible is pretty clear. Jesus is the truth. Christ is the embodiment of the truth. And as a Christian, we want to follow Christ, so we want the truth to ingrain in our lives. And in all that we say, all that we do, and all that we share. Truth, not opinions or feelings that we should share. It needs to be our compass in life as we strive to follow Jesus and believe the highest authority of truth, which is the Word of God.
Amen.
Amen.
Bible not just an inspirational literature, but it is inspired scripture, uniquely given to us by God himself. Unfortunately, not every church or every person believes all what the scripture says, or even the commandments. But it requires us to actively pursue and promote the truth in all dealings with others. The Bible says, the truth will set you free. And if the truth sets you free, it stands to reason that lying will bound you. A man is always holding with the cord of the sins that he do. And you know, when you tell one lie, you've got to tell another and another to try to cover your tracks. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And there's a saying that repetition of lies 1,000 times can never be truth. So why don't you say the truth once and be free? In fact, truth will liberate you. As the rest of the scripture makes it abundantly clear, truth-telling is a fundamental moral duty and honesty in the basic moral virtue of mankind. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 15 and 25. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 15. And I read, instead, speaking the truth in love, that is my title, you will grow to become in every respect the matured body of him who is the head, that is Christ. 25, therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. Amen. And in conclusion, the bottom line of the 9th commandment is this: since truth exists, we ought to seek the truth, tell the truth, live the truth, and share the truth with others. Amen. For us who are followers of Jesus Christ, we often seek to avoid lying, but sometimes we hesitate to share the truth with others. We forget that the most truthful truth in the world is the good news that God so loved the world, so much so that he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die for it, so we could find forgiveness and restoration with Jesus. When was the last time you shared this truth with someone who didn't know? Folks, I'm encouraging you to focus, to uphold Jesus Christ and him alone. There is a song that on Christ the rock I stand. All other ground is sinking sand. Your mother, your sister, your parents, your friends will fail you. They will always lie to you. But if you focus on Christ and him alone, you will see the reality. Christ will tell you the truth, and he will let you know who you are. Folks, if you refuse to look at the mirror and think that we can see the truth of our face, we are lying to ourselves. Look at Christ, who is the mirror, and he will reveal to you what is going on around you. our lives put Christ to death, we continue lying. Brothers and sisters, if there is anything that is good in this world, it's truth. And it's Jesus Christ alone.
Amen.
Is there anyone here who thinks that he has lied someday or somewhere, or sometimes he tried to restrain his tongue, but the brain did not allow it? And people say, oh, it's a slip of tongue. No, it's lie. Is there anyone here who has gone through all this?
Oh, yeah, we have.
If there is anyone here who would like to stand with me while we pray to God so that He will help us to remove all this slip of tongues, all these lies from us, all these things we do thinking that we are saving others. Please stand up with me while we are going to pray.